If you meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue, I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall. And if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.
All right, welcome everybody to Open Mic America. Happy 4th of July weekend, everybody. I am Rich Fassler, your MC for tonight's show, coming to you from lovely Bainbridge Island, Washington. I'm joined by our founder, Capo Dave Williams, and Daphne Ramil as our interviewing hosts, with Capo Dave Williams as our show engineer. So our mission here is to support local open mics across America. It's our pleasure to present the more accomplished singer-songwriters who play at those events. No gimmicks or frills, no special effects, just the beating heart of America's music and that tapestry of story and song that's been weaving us together for generations. We really have a great show tonight with talented performers from the Northeast, South, Southwest, and the West. And so I'm going to introduce now who our performers are. Starting off, we'll have Cowboy Rex from Phoenix, Arizona, Pammy Martin from Forest City, North Carolina, Greta Rose from Charlotte, North Carolina, Dan and Faith from Charlestown, New Hampshire, M-Joy from another island, Alameda, California, Andy and Judy Daigle from Bridgewater, Massachusetts. We're hoping Robert Edgar shows up here from Sunnyvale. And, I'm sorry, Robert is here. We're hoping that Ernest Whaley from Eureka shows up. And then we'll wind up today's show with the wonderful Hewitt Family Band from Brookhaven, Mississippi. You can find links to their work on our website and on this YouTube video. So, let's start off with our first guest, Cowboy Rex from Phoenix, Arizona. He is... He's a favorite local and open mics in Arizona. I sorry, Cowboy, I had them down here, but I missed them. But maybe when you start, you can list them as well. So, without further ado, Cowboy Rex.
Oh, thanks, guys. Yeah, I was supposed to give the information to Rick about the open mic that we have in Phoenix on Mondays. So if you guys are ever in Phoenix on a Monday night, we have it every Monday night. It's a open mic deal where anybody who comes and wants to play or spoken word or whatever it is, and we had our 1 year anniversary the first of June actually, and it's going really well. It's not a Zoom. It's a live open mic in a auditorium. So it's really, it's a listening room, and it's really very, very conducive to what we do. A lot of people come and do their original music and get a chance to work their chops up on it. So that's one thing. And then I think I put in the chat something else about another Zoom, but that's really not interesting to the YouTube people. But so
let me interrupt for 1 minute here. Hi, everybody.
Hi,
Dave, we want Cowboy Rex in the spotlight.
Does Cowboy Rex want to be in the spotlight?
Oh, absolutely. Cowboy Rex wants to be on the spotlight. So Dave, Capo Dave needs to spotlight Cowboy Rex. Because if I do it, I can't do it.
Oh. Can I do it?
Wait a minute, Daphne. I have him pinned. Is that not
No,
the same
no,
thing?
that's not the same as a spotlight.
Oh,
Gotta spotlight him. Yes.
Okay.
It won't work the same way.
Spotlight.
Oh, here. How's this?
Yes, but it needs to be spotlit on Dave's screen. We need to make sure that he controls
I'm
it.
looking here. See, this is something.
If you look at the three, see, we're all having new roles here. I don't know how I'm going to be as an interviewer either. But wait, Cowboy Rex, you're very patient. So there's 3 little dots. There's 3 little dots on the picture of somebody, and you can put the spotlight or remove the
Okay,
spotlight
wait a minute.
that way. There's a spotlight on him though now, so just yeah,
Okay, I see there. Okay.
good.
I thought pin was spotlight. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry for interrupting,
Oh,
folks.
it's
No, I'm glad you did.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, and while we're at it, this is a Zoom thing. Make me co-host, please.
Oh, yeah. I'll do that too. I'll do
That's
that
important too.
Okay, welcome everybody. I'm so glad I'm here.
We're glad you're here too.
Okay.
Glad to be here. I've got all night, so
Oh, you're
talk among
spotlighted.
yourselves if you need to.
All right, cowboy.
Okay. All right, so this first one is, I'm doing 2, right?
Yes.
Okay, so this first one is in honor of Independence Day. The older I get, the more I appreciate where we live and what a great nation we have, and what great founding documents we are in possession of that are the envy of the world. So one thing that we have an abundance of, even though we kind of take it for granted and maybe not feel like it, is real freedom. It's pretty rare in the world that we live in. So that's what this song is about. She wears a battered crown, weathered copper is her gown. She drives the darkness down with the lamp she's holding high. Sometimes in a gown of white, holding her standard high, guiding her children to the light, raising the cry. Cry freedom loud and clear. Cry freedom so they'll hear. Cry freedom everywhere. Cry freedom, cry. In every age, in every land, she lives in the heart of man. Even a little child can understand when they hear the cry. Those who have known her well have a powerful tale to tell, who have fought to heaven and through hell, heeding the cry. Freedom, loud and clear. Cry freedom, so they'll hear. Cry freedom everywhere. Cry freedom, cry. She's holding out her hand on the battlefield of man, hoping we'll come to understand we are worth the fight. We are worth the fight. He came to set the captives free through the shed blood of his victory. To those whom the sun sets free, why, they are free indeed. Cry freedom loud and clear. Cry freedom so they'll hear. Cry freedom everywhere. Cry freedom, cry, cry freedom, cry. She wears a battered crown.
Wow, that's beautiful. That was really great. You know, Cowboy, I'm always amazed by your range. I mean, you can do the low notes and then you go and jump up to the high notes. Really, really great voice.
Well, thanks.
We're ready for song number 2.
Yeah. I need the words for this one. Sorry about that. In my perfect world, the Father always makes it home. In my perfect world, the mother is never left alone. And in my perfect world, a cry for help is always heard. And in my perfect world, the truth is found in every word. Everyone there has a home. No one there is left alone. People there are wise and kind. No one there is left behind. In my perfect world, everyone knows they are loved. In my perfect world, blessings rain down from above, and in my perfect world, every soul soars high and free. In my perfect world, war is a distant memory. Everyone there lends a hand. Everyone gives all they can. And true love there, and true love there never dies. Children there will never cry. In my perfect world, a brother always makes it home. In my perfect world, a sister is never left alone. And true love there never dies. And loved ones there will only cry tears of joy. In my perfect world.
Very nice. Beautiful song.
Coming back.
Hey, Cowboy, quick question. Are you finger picking a 12 string there?
Yes,
Oh, man. Beautiful.
thanks.
I have a hard enough time doing the 12 string with my pick. All right. Well, so I'm going to pass you off now to Daphne, who is going to interview you.
Yes, you've done this drill before, Cowboy Rex, but often you're at the end of our show, and I've got to say that I very often look forward to your singing because it always sends some kind of maybe sad but also hopeful message to take home with us. And here we've started right out with it. So thank you for those two beautiful
Oh,
songs
thank you.
and for coming back to us.
Oh yeah, I'm happy to. This is great. I love this show. This is fun.
We love having you on
And I
it.
get to meet new people. I don't know. I don't think I know anybody that's on the group this time. That's
I
great.
don't know all of them either. It's going to
It's
be a lot
awesome.
of fun. So, do I get to call you Cowboy or
Uh-huh.
Mr. Rex?
That's
Okay.
what most people call me.
Cowboy. Okay,
There's
Cowboy.
other names, but they're not fit for YouTube.
Okay. So yeah, like I was saying, you always give us something to like to to hang on. We can hang on your words and the feelings that they create for us. And I was just curious, you have a lot of wisdom in there that you're sharing. How long ago did you start writing songs and singing them?
I
Has it been
started writing. I started writing songs when I was about 14, probably, and I have a whole big wad of really horrible songs that that I that I have hung on to. Really, I should go out in the backyard and burn, because I'll never. But they're, but it was a good start. At least I tried. It was the era of Bob Dylan and people figuring out that they could write songs too. And then if I figured if he could, I could too. So I just, we started expressing ourselves in words and music, and it was been a lifelong adventure.
Wow. Well, I hope you don't burn them. I hope you keep them all and then
Oh, oh, if you
somebody
heard them, you'd
find.
probably say, "Yeah, there's one for the fire."
Oh gosh, no. And so you say we. So like did you go at this alone or did you have a community
Well, yeah,
for your
you know,
music?
at first it was folk music, and then it graduated to different kinds of folky. I guess I'm really a folk singer, and relative to the kind of music I do, but it's so there was always a community that I was part of. I never really co-write with anybody, but I have a lot of supportive friends and family. Thank
Uh-huh.
God, because otherwise, I never think anything I do is any good, but other people tell me it's okay. So,
Oh, we tell you it's more than okay. But
uh,
wait, you say you have friends and family, but you are also, from what I understand, you're quite a leader in a musical community. Can you tell us a little
well,
bit about
yeah,
that?
when COVID happened, we all kind of got stuck in our shells, and it's really hard for the musical community because we live to share little pieces of our heart, and when you can't do that, it just kind of gets you know congested. So my friend Glenn and I, when COVID started to die down last year, we started a new venture here in Phoenix, and the whole purpose is, people ask me why do you do this? It's a lot of work, every week we put this show on, and I tell people, well, we do this for you. I don't do it so I'll have a place to play. I mean, it's nice to have a place to play, but
Hmm.
I do it we do it so that the musical community can have a live circumstance where there's great lights and great audio and a really great setting, and there's nothing like it here, nothing.
Hmm.
And the church, we Genesis Church has been grateful or gracious to allow us to use their facility, and it's a wonderful auditorium, and we could get a couple hundred people in there if we needed to. So yeah, the whole idea is to reach out to create a space where people, if they want to, can come and play.
Well, I think that is like we say where I grew up. It's a big mitzvah. It's
Oh, thank
it's
you.
it's a
That's a
it's a
really good way to put it. It is. It's a mitzvah.
yes, it
Yeah,
is. And
yeah.
thank you for that, for doing that. And thank you for your beautiful music that we get to hear here from time to time.
Oh, thanks so
And
much.
yeah, and come back. And now we're going to turn it back over to Rich, who's going to tell
Okay.
us who's next.
All right. So next is Pammy Martin from Forest City, North Carolina. She's played at the Main Street Market open mic in Rutherfordton. See if I can say that name, North Carolina. Also, Earl Scruggs Center, Shelby, North Carolina. Make Music Day, Rutherford County Farmers Market, July 16th. And she'll also be playing at the Salisbury Farmers Market later in the year. And with that, I will send it over to Pammy. And we'll unmute you. There we go.
Thank y'all for having me. And I'm a little nervous, but I guess that's okay. I always get nervous when I sing. This first song that I'm going to do is actually a co-write, and I wrote it with a fellow named Stephen Hayes. He wrote a lot of the words and the lyrics, and I just loved them, so I asked him if I could put music to them, and he was excited about that. So I also helped with a chorus for the song, but unfortunately he passed away before I finished the song, which was sad. But so I don't play this out a lot, but I thought I would play it here just in memory of him, because he was a true poet. So it's called Heaven's Kiss. How do I hide my sorrow as as I touch the brand new day. Too soon I long for tomorrow as I head into the fray. If I wash myself with heaven, cleanse all this dirt that I hide. If I tattoo my heart with a 7, would that smother the root of my pride? Oh, 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 oh. Nothing I can do, nothing I can say, taking in the shame, ironing out the guilt, pinning up the white rose in the sunlight of the day. In the darkness of my heart, I'm still waiting, waiting for heaven's kiss, for heaven's kiss. If I gaze into eyes of forever, persuade God, do I clean my slate? But I don't think that I am that clever, no. My lips might just seal my fate. So I look to the sky for the answer, search for the right words to say. But my past eats me up like a cancer. Lost in guilt, I'm unable to pray. Oh, 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 oh. Nothing I can do, nothing I can say, taking in the shame, ironing out the guilt, pinning up the white rose in the sunlight of the day. In the darkness of my heart, I'm still waiting, waiting for heaven's kiss, for heaven's kiss. How could God forgive the things I've done? In my mind I relive my sins that murdered his son. Why would he even care and not turn his back? Yet he hears prayers from a heart calloused and black. If I wash myself with heaven, cleanse all this dirt that I hide. If I tattoo my heart with a 7, would that smother the root of my pride? Oh, 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 oh. Nothing I can do, nothing I can say. Everything he did was what took my sin away. Now I am wearing Jesus was waiting, waiting, with heaven's kiss. He was waiting for me, with heaven's kiss, heaven's kiss. Heaven's kiss.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Very nice.
Tommy.
Very nice. You know, it's funny. You know, we're always also nervous before we start, but that was beautiful. You have such a great voice. Wonderful, wonderful song.
Thank you. I appreciate that. The next one that I'm going to do is about the town that I grew up in. And it's called Taking Time to Wait. I actually grew up here in Forest City. And then I moved away to Knoxville, Tennessee for a while. And then I lived out in California for a year. And now I'm back here. So this is just a song about my hometown. Let me get the right capo on here. And I just loved that the songs that you did, Cowboy Rex. Those were beautiful. I just wanted to say that. Okay, Taking Time to Wait. One stoplight town where I was raised, family all around, everybody stayed. Daddy didn't think a better life was outside the city lines, content to come home to his wife. Blessed be the tie that binds. Playing checkers and listening while the grown-ups had debates of how to fix this world, or whether it's too late. Simple time and people sitting on the steps, talking, laughing, sharing life, taking time to wait. The corner store, 3 little shops, peeling paint on every door. White-haired people always stopped. Little church of 40 souls was where I first heard of God. Daddy walked the aisle and passed the plate. He loved others, he lived his faith. The barber shop smelled strong to me on Saturdays. Bubble gum was free if you bought a shave. Simple time and people sitting on the steps, talking, laughing, sharing life, taking time to wait. Playing in the grass barefoot in June, and butterflies were fast, laughter floating like balloons. The sun fell quickly, talk grew quiet, eyelids heavy on that old porch swing. I watched Daddy holding Mama's hand, turning her wedding ring. checkers and listening while the grown-ups had debates of how to fix this world or whether it's too late. Simple time and people sitting on the steps, talking, laughing, sharing life, taking time to wait, taking time to wait.
Beautiful. That's a beautiful song. Ah, very nice. Okay, I'm going to get you over to Daphne, and Daphne will do a little interview. Take it
Well,
away.
thank you, Rich. Pammy, welcome to Open Mic America. My goodness, I don't know how you found us, but I'm glad that you did. That was so beautiful.
I had a friend
So,
who actually did that.
a friend?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Lori Daly.
oh, very good friend. So, when you first started singing, the first question that just popped into my mind was, where did you get that voice of yours? I mean, it's just naturally beautiful, but did you also get trained in it or anything? Or
Well, I grew up singing with my mom and my sister in church, and so we just always sang. And I loved music. Started taking piano lessons. So then, when I went to college, I did study at Mars Hill, and I studied music there. And it just kind of went on. I've just always loved to sing.
oh, it really shows that you have such a beautiful voice. And here's something else that crossed my mind. I mean, you said you were nervous, and I mean, I've performed and I would feel nervous too. But so I was just wondering, so you're nervous, and yet I saw you smiling when you were singing and just like, you know, um, sending it out from your very inner being. So where do you get the confidence to do that, even though, like you say, I'm nervous? Where does that come from, that confidence?
I really don't know. I mean, I have some really good friends in our Songwriters Association, and I really feel like a lot of that has come from them and the Southern Songwriters Association, because during COVID was when I really started writing a lot of songs, and we have a weekly meeting, through Zoom, and so they were
Mhm.
just so encouraging that it gave me confidence to, just get out there and try to sing some of the songs I had written. So, but I'm really
Yeah.
not very confident.
Oh, but when you started performing though, it just pours out of you. So
Thank
you,
you.
you are somewhere in there. I know that.
Well, thank you.
And you painted such a beautiful picture of Forest. That was Forest City that you were singing
That's Forest
about,
City.
right? The small
Yes,
town. I've
yes.
never been there, but you made me want to go and visit. And I was wondering, I mean, you said that you sang in church. So other than church, which I'm sure there's a lot of music, it's a small town. Do you have a musical community right there, or do you have to go online? How does it work?
Right now, I am starting to meet people. We had an open mic at a used bookstore in Forest City called Next Door Used Books, and there was another singer-songwriter there, so I got to meet him. Um, but I really don't get to meet many singer-songwriters here in this small town. Now, there may be some out there that just are not are shy like me.
Ah,
Just not met yet. So it's just, but there's a lot of live music. It's just, it seems like the people um, come in from other counties or things like that. So we have a lot of good bluegrass though. A lot of good
oh, I
bluegrass.
bet. Well, I think that in the end, you're going to be the town troubadour, is what you're going to be. Those
Well,
beautiful
thank
songs.
you. I had a lady came up to the farmer's market, and she had made me a little badge, and it said "I am a minstrel," and I loved that, so I put that on my hat because I just
Oh,
liked that. So when you said a troubadour, it just reminded me of that as being the minstrel. So
same idea. Exact. She's right. See, she's right. So. Well, thank you. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
being here with us. Hope you come back. Rich, take it away.
Okay, I noticed, Charlie, you have your hand up. Did you want to ask a question?
Everything else she had, wonderful songs, wonderful voice. She has a wonderful smile.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Jumps off the screen almost. Great.
I appreciate
Songs are great
that.
too.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so let's see here. Do that. And our next performer up is Greta Rose from Charlotte, North Carolina. Greta's done open mics at Old Town Public House in Cornelius, Jack Beagles in the Noda area of Charlotte. I'm sure Charlottonians know what the Noda area is. And Tommy's Pub in Charlotte, North Carolina. So, Greta, you are on.
Hi, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, we can.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with an original that I wrote, and it is on my most recent EP, I guess. And I don't know, I just felt super inspired to play it today. It's called Special. I thought I was special. I thought I really meant something, but I was wrong. I was wrong. I thought I was the only one hearing your voice like I did, but I was wrong. I was wrong. I'm not special. I'm nothing and nothing more. I've tried and I failed to close that door. No matter how many times you break my heart, I'll be there for you when yours is falling apart. But it still hurts to know I'm not special. I thought I was the only one. I thought I was the only one you told, but I was wrong. I was wrong. Never should have let myself believe I was someone. 'Cause I'm not special. I'm nothing and nothing more. I've tried and I failed to close that door. No matter how many times you break my heart, I'll be there for you when yours is falling apart. But it still hurts to know I'm not special. I'm not special. I'm nothing and nothing more. I've tried and I failed to close that door. No matter how many times you break my heart, I'll be there for you when yours is falling apart. But it still hurts to know I'm not special.
Wow, very, very nice. Really nice. You can really feel the emotion in your voice. It was super.
I sure hope that's not autobiographical because you are special.
This next one, it's called No Closed Doors, and actually, my brother, he usually does guitar with me, and more like a duo thing, but we went into the studio to record this song today, so.
You ask all the right questions. You can always tell if I'm okay. You know how to tell me that I'm wrong without tearing me apart along the way. I swear I'll always hold on. I swear I'll never let go. And when you need someone to hold your hand, I will guide you home. And when you're dark eats your light, I will anchor you and remind you it's alright. And when you're dropping so low that you hit the floor, I'll be there to remind you that there's no closed doors. You know how to make promises that you know you can keep, even when I don't show everything. I know you still see me. I swear I'll always hold on. I swear I'll never let go. And when you need someone to hold your hand, I will guide you home. And when you're dark eats your light, I will anchor you and remind you it's alright. And when you're dropping so low that you hit the floor, I'll be there to remind you that there's no closed doors. I swear I'll always hold on. I swear I'll never let go. And when you need someone to hold your hand, I will guide you home. And when you're dark eats your light, I will anchor you and remind you it's alright. And when you're dropping so low that you hit the floor, I'll be there to remind you that there's no closed doors.
Yay! Woohoo!
Very nice.
Wow.
Great song. Great song.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. All right. So now we'll switch you over to Daphne and find out a little bit more about you.
Well, Greta, it's a pleasure to hear your music and also just to be able to talk to you a little bit and to have somebody like you, like there's a couple of people here today who just like lower the average age of our performers by quite a bit. You're delightfully young and got a good start. That's great. So first, your name. It just is that a stage name, or did your parents just know that Greta Rose was going to be a perfect name for a girl who's going to be singing on a stage?
So it's actually a stage name and my real name. It's my first and middle name. So
Oh, I see. Perfect. That's very that you see your parents still were smart. They gave you a perfect first and middle name for something like that. That's great.
they'll be happy to hear that.
Yeah. And so you did mention your brother, but like how did you get started with all this songwriting and singing and performing?
Okay, so I've always been a songwriter. When I was in like second grade, I would write songs and then I would go and perform them for my class. I don't know how my teacher tolerated it, but she did. And then we moved to North Carolina when I was, I think, 12. And then the music scene here was super interesting, super supportive, and it kind of just elevated that.
Right. And so do you sing with your whole family or is it only your brother that you do things together with?
It's just my brother and I.
And do you perform a lot?
Yeah, we do a lot of local like coffee shops, festivals,
Hmm.
just pretty much any venue like type we've like performed for.
Is he an older or a younger brother?
He's younger. He's
Oh,
14.
okay. So I mean, maybe he's a mentor. I don't know, but I know you said that, there's a lot of people that you are performing for, and there is a group, but is there anybody special who's like a musical mentor to you that you've had?
Yes. Two people actually. Is it okay if I
Uh-huh.
name both of them?
Sure. We just want to find out more about you and how this all happens.
So, Steve Simpson of the Southern Songwriters Association, I met him when I was just getting into the music stuff, and uh, he was super, super supportive, helped me create ideas, get more comfortable performing, and all sorts of stuff like that. He is truly amazing and also an incredibly talented songwriter himself. So,
Hmm.
and then there's also Carl Gunther. He has supported me for the last 2 years, and he has taught both my brother and I certain concepts of music that we're able to apply in several ways. So
That's fantastic. I bet they're watching you now, both of them, and that they're really proud of you.
I hope.
So keep it up, Greta, and
Thank
thank you for
you.
being on Open Mic America. And
Thank you
I'm
for
going to be
having
handing
me.
it over to Rich to introduce our next performer.
Thanks, Daphne. All right, so we are going to move now from North Carolina up to New Hampshire for Dan and Faith in Charlestown, New Hampshire. Used to be able to see them at PCA open mics in Westford, Massachusetts. And they've got a show coming up. Their next show for them is in Forest City, Iowa at a Winnebago event. So here you go, Dan and Faith.
Thank you. Thanks for having us tonight. Start with a song that I wrote that seems to fit well on the banjo. Ready?
Yep.
Where are you now, my darling, my sweetheart? Where do you sleep through the long nights? Where are you now, my darling, my sweetheart? Where are you now?
We met in the morning, danced in the evening, pledged to each other the very same day. Now you are gone to fight in the war. Here I sit lonely, waiting in tears.
They marched us for days, for weeks through the hillsides, off to the south. With our cannons and guns, brothers fought brothers, so many were slaughtered, waving the flags of tyrants and fools.
Where are you now, my darling, my sweetheart? Where do you sleep through the long nights? Where are you now, my darling, my sweetheart? Where are you now?
We gather in church, we gather together, we mothers and daughters, orphans of war. Each day we wonder who will return, and will they be changed when they come home?
We sit round the campfire well after sunset, dream of our loved ones so far away. Will you still be there if we return, if we make it back home? Where are you now, my darling, my sweetheart? Where do you sleep through the long nights? Where are you now, my darling, my sweetheart? Where are you, where are you now?
It's been many years since we were together, far longer than the time we once had. No word has come to tell us what happened. Will you and the others come back someday?
The battle was long and bloody and deadly, like lambs to the slaughter. We were cut down here in this soil, we many lay resting here for all time to sleep evermore. Where are you now, my darling, my sweetheart? Where do you sleep through the long nights? Where are you now, my darling, my sweetheart? Where are you, where are you now?
Where are you now, my darling, my sweetheart? Where do you sleep through the long nights? Where are you now, my darling, my sweetheart? Where are you, where are you now?
Very nice.
Bravo.
That's very nice.
Beautiful.
Quick instrument swap here.
Yeah, no problem. While you're doing that, can I ask you a personal question? Are you two married?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I tell you, I am envious. I'm envious. You have a built-in built-in band members, right? And harmony. I mean, it's got to be a beautiful thing.
And we travel the country in a small camper van. You have to really like each other.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Definitely.
With 6-stringed instruments, sound gear, harmonicas, and yeah, we play open mics less often because we're out traveling. But while we're out traveling, we actually look for open mics on off nights because we love to meet people and hear new people and make connections.
Cool.
Actually, Cowboy Rex, we might be getting in contact with you because
There's a possibility of us getting to Phoenix on our fall tour. So,
Oh, there you go.
so who knows?
that could be
You
awesome.
might be in Phoenix.
That's a
We'll
possibility.
be in Santa Fe and in Socorro, and there's a slight chance that we could swing west before we come back east.
Yeah.
So
Well, if you do, we'll have you on a Monday night. That would be awesome.
That'd be
we'll
great.
see if we can make that work.
Yeah.
So Faith, why don't you hold up the
Oh
dulcimer
yeah,
for a minute?
I should definitely hold this up. This is for anyone who's unfamiliar, Appalachian Mountain dulcimer.
Recorded it,
Yeah,
but
and we're just be a while before that one comes out.
yeah. But this is called New Vision. Ready?
Yeah.
Cast aside your deepest fears, the worries of your mind. The universe will reveal a path for you to find as we try to organize the burdens of our lives. Set aside the time to seek the wisdom of the light. So laugh together every day. Though there may be sorrow, only love will show the way to a bright tomorrow. Let go your cares and listen to the voices of the trees. Lift your arms like branches, reaching for a gentle breeze. For we build walls round ourselves let them not become a prison. Open doors and windows wide, peace and joy, your new vision. So laugh together every day, though there may be sorrow, only love will show the way to a bright tomorrow. So laugh together every day, though there may be sorrow, only love will show the way to a bright tomorrow. New vision.
Very nice. Love the sound. Very nice. Okay, let me pass you over to Daphne now, so we can learn a little bit more about you.
Hi, Dana and Faith. I have so many questions for you. We're probably not going to get to all of them, but this is not even about the music. Your visuals are so stunning. You have like the perfect lighting, and you have that black background, and you have the red shirts. Do you do a lot of virtual performances? That you've honed that skill?
We did a lot during the lockdowns and so forth through the early parts of COVID. We have played extensively live and had to work up how to best get an online performance.
And we actually hosted a songwriters song swap, a midweek song swap with friends around the country. Actually, Andy and Judy, who are coming up in a couple of acts, have done the song swap with us.
But we just had, it was something to do. I mean, so Wednesday nights we would have a friend or somebody we knew or somebody we wanted to get to know better. We had several from Canada. We had people off in California, Texas.
Just swapping songs and chatting, just to keep our fingers in during COVID and to get to spend some time with people.
Yeah, well, you make it look really good too. So that's kudos for that one.
Mm-hmm.
So my other questions were kind of, I'm just really curious, a creative duo is a really precious kind of a thing. And I know that 1 + 1 becomes a lot greater than 2 when there are 2 people performing music together. So for you two, I mean, how does that whole process work? Does one of you write the songs and the other arrange? I mean, how do you do this?
We both write extensively.
Yeah, he's more prolific than I am, but we both write. And then once we've written the songs and shared them with each other, then we mutually arrange them to be duo songs.
And we hosted for many, many years a songwriter showcase in Massachusetts, where we used to live, where we would have the 2 of us and 2 guest songwriters, and the audience would put in prompt ideas. One would get selected from the evening, and the next month songwriters had to write songs based on those prompts.
And because we were hosting every month, we each had a new song to present. And some of them, you'd play them once and then
that's it.
pitch them. And then others, our last 3 CDs, all were at least 50% song prompt songs.
Both of these songs we played tonight actually were from prompts.
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. What was the prompt? Do you remember?
The prompt for the banjo song was, "It's been longer since I've seen you than I knew you."
It took me 3 weeks just to figure out what that meant.
And to me, it just instantly went to the Civil War. And then for New Vision, it was "The Burden of Organization." And in the second line, this is, "As we try to organize the burdens of our lives," is the lyric in the second verse.
I don't even remember what I wrote for that one. It must have been one of the ones we pitched.
It's fun. We just had the finale, actually, of that series because the cafe where we did it just closed this past week. So we went down to Massachusetts and had a final show, and lots of people who had played in the series came, and they played songs that they had written for that series. And it's, for us, it's like we're the godparents of lots and
of
lots
all
of
of these little
songs.
songs going out in the world. It's great fun.
Oh, that's a really nice metaphor. I like that. Well, simile anyway. And so, how many instruments do each of you tell us each what instruments you each play?
I play guitar, banjo, and harmonica.
I play mandolin, mountain dulcimer, ukulele, bass guitar.
And in the studio, piano sometimes.
I played piano in high school, and as long as it's simple block chords, I can kind of do it these days. Our last CD, one of the songs ended up needing piano because we couldn't get the ukulele to sound like anything when recording. And piano fit it perfectly, and it turned out to be me playing piano.
And we've both been singers all our lives and have
Yeah,
done extensive voice work with a few different coaches.
Yeah.
So, what came first, your relationship or your music?
The relationship.
Yeah.
We actually met this past week. It was 40 years since we met.
Oh, that's right.
I thought you met this past week. I'm thinking that's that.
No, we've been together for 40 years, and
the music is a lot more recent.
Yeah.
We met in college. One of the things we discovered in college, after both doing a lot of choral work in high school, was that at college we didn't have time for music.
So we were away from the music for quite a while, and started writing songs about 16 years ago. And once we started writing, they just kept coming.
Stop.
And it's been quite the adventure. Learning how to craft the songs, then learning how to best present them, and over time getting out on the road and playing them far and wide
around the country.
What a wonderful thing that you can share with each other and share it with us and other people. I can just imagine you driving in your van and then throwing open the back door of the van and popping out on this platform and starting to play your music in some parking lot or wherever it is. That's
We have actually played a concert for the people who built our van.
Oh, that's awesome.
Winnebago had us pull the van into the factory one time at lunchtime, and the builders were all there. And we played right in front of our van,
which was such an honor for us. So.
Oh, wow. Well, it's been an honor for us and a pleasure to have you here. Thank you for your music. And back to you, Rich.
See, let's unmute here. There we go. What a great story. That's a great story. Okay, so now we're on the East Coast. Now we're flipping back over to the West Coast to another island. This time it's Alameda. M. Joy is going to play a couple tunes for us. She's played open mics at the Fireside Lounge in Alameda, which is typically Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Also plays every month on a virtual performance called Quaranpalooza. I hope I did that all right. And they actually raise money every month for the Bay Area Cancer Connection. So that's very cool, very cool. So MJ, take it away.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Maya, aka M Joy. Either one. Happy to be here. Really happy for everything that folks are doing here. So thank you for having me. The first song that I'm gonna play is called "Compare Despair," about comparing yourself to others and how it could hurt sometimes, right? So, okay, here we go. And this is an original. I'll be playing all originals tonight. They say, compare despair, and don't let anyone anywhere make it doubt what you got, but I can't help it. Even though I have a light in the moment, I forget it. It took me a while just to get where I am today. I don't have the title or the white picket fence with some shade. I'm expecting a battle just to move up in the ranks. So yeah, I compare myself to everyone. If I focus on the surface, and I will lose my mind. Don't want the superficial things between you
either better or worse, why can't we be the same? How much harm have I caused living life this way? The pain in my stomach from the jealousy I feel, and it don't even matter if I got the best part of the deal. I'm expecting a battle with myself and how I feel. So yeah, I compare myself to everyone. When I focus on the surface and I won't lose my mind, don't want the superficial things between you and I. My good feeling told me bleeding when I compare despair. Be happy for me, I can be happy for you. Giving in to despair, it's the only way we'll lose. When I focus on the surface and I would lose my mind, don't want the superficial things between you and I. My good feeling's always fleeting when I compare despair. When I focus on the surface and I would lose my mind, don't want the superficial things between you and I. My good feeling's always fleeting when I compare despair. Be happy for me, I can be happy for you.
Thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that driving beat. It's really cool. Yeah. Very nice.
Thank you so much.
You bet.
Okay, I think for my last one tonight, I'm gonna play a song called Prepared to Fail, and it's about making friends with making mistakes, essentially.
Am I strong enough? I tend to doubt myself the most, the one I love. All this adulting stuff, I am risk averse, so I haven't risked enough. I wanna live in the moment, I wanna let go of the past, I wanna take control and own it at last. Alright, okay, I'm in over my head, and if I mess up, I can't say I make mistakes along the way. I'm prepared to fail. All the anxiety, how is it so enticing? That's how I miss the opportunities. I'm speaking from experience, that's just what I see. I wanna live in the moment, I wanna let go of the past, I wanna take control and own it at last. Alright, okay, in over my head, and if I mess up, I can't say I make mistakes along the way. Alright, okay, in over my head, and if I mess up, I can't say I make mistakes along the way. I'm prepared to fail, I'm prepared for those that judge, I'm prepared to go and take the plunge. I don't know what I don't know, prepared to learn as I go. Wanna live in the moment, I wanna let go of the past, I wanna take control and own it at last. Alright, okay, in over my head, and if I mess up, I can't say I make mistakes along the way.
Thanks, everyone.
Hey, that was great. That was great. Hey, before I hand you over to Daphne, I just have one question. Do you have a backup band?
I don't officially right now,
Yeah.
but I hear it.
Oh yeah. I mean, you're right in the alt rock zone. Alternative rock. You're right there. All you need is the backup band. Okay.
Yeah.
Enough said. I'm gonna hand you over to Daphne
we've
now.
cast the net out, so thank you for that.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting, Rich, because that was exactly one of the questions which was swimming around in my head too.
Yeah.
It's not, does she have a backup band? But I mean, have you ever played in a band? Did you ever play the drums?
Totally. Yeah, actually,
You did.
You're totally right on. I love playing drums. I'm not super great at it, but I'm natural at it. But I actually studied bass, so I think that really influenced.
That was my next one.
Yeah, that totally that does influence how I play guitar.
Absolutely. It is just so rhythmic and
thank you.
and straight on. I mean, a band is great, but you're like a one-woman band all by yourself. You got the lyrics, you got the melody, you got the groove, you got everything. That's really interesting. Yeah, I figured you were a drummer or something like that. So about your name, there's so interesting names today. Joy. So what occurred to me when I was hearing you is like, it sounds like enjoying, and that is what you seem to do.
Thank you. Yeah, my tagline sort of with my brand that I want to put out there for my stage name being Joy is music is a gift, enjoy yourself. And I want when people to say enjoy to just automatically equate that to, Joy, so that's sort of my strategy there. But the name really similar to Greta Rose. I hope I'm saying, I hope I'm remembering that correctly. My name is Maya, right? So the first initial is the M, and then my middle name is actually Joie. And I never said my middle name a lot. My mom just has an affinity for the French language and stuff. But I never talked about my middle name and never got a lot of airtime. So I thought, hey, if I just flip it, translate it to Joy, and that's also just kind of my vibe, it seems like a really just fair, or appropriate, fitting name. So Joy is how I came up with that.
That's really cool. Now, I was taken with the topic of your song about preparing to fail because I had been reading about the differences between the genders and how we're trained. Either like boys are encouraged to fail and girls are more encouraged to be perfect, and how that affects us in our lives later on. Of course, it's a generalization, but there's been a lot of studies done, and your song just really addressed that whole if you fail, then you have a chance later on, right? I mean, that's the act of failing is what's going to make you strong and learn. So
yes, thank you for tapping into that and having noticing that, because that's totally the aim with all the songs that I create and that I share. I wanted to tackle things that are political in a lot of ways, just inherently, right? Like the issue of gender and stuff, the conversation, the social construction, whatever you want to call it, there's stuff to be grappled with there. And so you're absolutely right. The way socialization works and how we pick and choose what lessons we impart on who, I really try to work with giving folks, whoever you are, permission, right, to go against the grain and just essentially, do best for yourself. And then in that work, you're actually serving everyone else around you in a higher level way. So I hope that makes sense. But yes, we're on the same page.
Wonderful. And here's one last thing that just crossed. You clearly love what you're doing and you're good at it. So what is it that you love about it? And you sort of addressed part of that. But are there also what are the challenges that you're finding that you're facing with the music?
Gosh. Totally. Yeah, no, that's a great question. I think because I know we have limited time. The way I'd sum it up is right now I'm transitioning from thinking that I have to do everything by myself, and like wait till I share songs, to just fast forward the, what is it called? The part of a butterfly's process when they're like all cocooned up.
Metamorphosis, yes.
Yeah, let's just fast forward that part. Let me just bust out the wings today. I don't have to wait. When I write a song, I'm sharing it with everyone that I trust. I have a broad community of people that I love and that support me. And I'm going on Facebook Live or Instagram Live, and I'm just like, hey, I'm practicing. You know, I'm just trying to be as visible sooner than later and not hide anything about me. Because there's nothing to hide. I just have a lot to share.
That's wonderful. I'm glad you're sharing it with us, M Joy. Or Maya. What do you want to be called?
Oh, both
Okay.
simultaneously at the same time, or either one. It's all
Maya.
good.
Yeah, we enjoyed you, M Joy. So.
Thank you so much.
Back to you, Rich.
All right. Very interesting. Thanks, Daphne. So we're in Alameda on the West Coast, and now I don't know who put this list together, but we keep flip-flopping from the West Coast to the East Coast. So now back to the East Coast with Andy and Judy Daigle in Bridgewater, Massachusetts, who you can catch them at the Jabberwocky Coffee House in Brockton, Mass., the OCC Coffee House in Rentham, Mass., and the Rose Garden Coffee House in Mansfield, Massachusetts. So Andy and Judy, you're on.
Hello.
Hello.
Let's take us off the spotlight, the other two of us. Because we want to sing together with Andy and Judy, but we don't know their songs.
Right. And I don't need to be on the spotlight.
Use the sign?
Yep, there we go.
There we go. Hello. Yes, we're Andy and Judy from Southeastern Mass. And right now it's soupy humid, but that's okay. We're going to do a couple songs for you. The first one comes from a time we were on tour in Maryland, and we had a couple of afternoon shows on a Saturday and Sunday, but we had a Saturday evening free. So we put ourselves in the corner of a soup kitchen, a local soup kitchen, just acoustic, and played some covers and played a couple of our own. And just for the patrons when they came in and got their meal for the hour that they were serving food. And this one gentleman seemed to like our music a lot. And towards the end of our hour, he came up and had a wonderful conversation with us about his music and how we got to where he was. And he asked us to play his favorite song, which was Blowin' in the Wind. And we knew it, so we played it for him. And this song came of that, and it's called Songs He Once Knew. Came in from the cold to find a meal, to make his hunger fade, just like every night. His troubled thoughts he can't conceal, in this soup kitchen line, he ponders what might have been. Sound was heard above the din, lyric and melody caught him by surprise. A duo in the corner played for him, at least he felt that way. This proud man with tears in his eyes. The music filled him up and lingered in his soul. The others disappeared from view. Songs were all his own. The words he'd always known would take him to a life he once knew. asked them to play his favorite song, blowing in the wind, and it made him smile. He sang along with every word. He knew them all by heart, as if to sing them gave him flight. The music filled him up and lingered in his soul. The others disappeared from view. Songs were all his own. The words he'd always known would take him to a life he once knew. Songs are all his own. The words he'd always known would take him to a life he once knew.
Wow, beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Another duo with built-in harmony living together. That's great. Excellent.
The next song was taken from history. We like to write a lot of songs based on history, and this one came about from a visit to Sandusky, Ohio. We went to the museum there when we had an off day, and in the museum was a big exhibit on the Underground Railroad, because come to find out, Sandusky was a major stop on the Underground Railroad, and the code name for it was Hope. And also in one of the exhibits there, it showed that in Uncle Tom's Cabin, Harriet Beecher Stowe supposedly based her scene on the pier when two escaping slaves were going across the lake to Canada. She supposedly based that on the Sandusky Pier. So the boat that was called the Arrow was what was taken out in the book. So you'll hear references to both the Arrow and Hope, because the name of the song is There's Freedom in Hope. Are you ready?
Ready.
My heart is heavy these days. My heart is heavy these days. When the darkness comes to carry me away, the angels come to my aid. 'Cause there's freedom in hope, and that's where I'm gonna go. Yeah, there's freedom in hope, and that's where I'm gonna go. Cross the Jordan on the Arrow from the old man's bow, straight to the promised land. My faith is shaken these days. My faith is shaken these days. When I ask for signs to help me find my way, I am never led astray. 'Cause there's freedom in hope, and that's where I'm gonna go. Yeah, there's freedom in hope, and that's where I'm gonna go. Cross the Jordan on the Arrow from the old man's bow, straight to the promised land. My faith is shaken these days. My faith is shaken these days. When the good Lord calls and they lay me in my grave, I will not be afraid. 'Cause there's freedom in hope, and that's where I'm gonna go. Yeah, there's freedom in hope, that's where I'm gonna go. Cross the Jordan to the promised land. Well, there's freedom and hope, and that's where I'm gonna go. Yeah, there's freedom and hope, and that's where I'm gonna go. Cross the Jordan on the arrow from the old man's bow, straight to the promised land. Cross the Jordan on the arrow from the old man's bow, straight to the promised land, straight to the promised land.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Judy, you've got this great folk vocal voice. I mean, it's just perfect, very strong.
Thank you.
Okay, and now we will switch you over to Daphne for a little interview.
Yes, ditto what Rich said, and your string arrangements were so wonderful, and that last song made me think like we were going to church, and I don't mean like religious church, but like that good old folk music church.
That's it. That's it.
Wow.
Heading off to meeting.
It sounds like that song could have been written. I mean, it's a new song. I know you wrote it, but it should have been around forever. It's amazing. That was beautiful. They're both really beautiful. So here we have 3 duos in one show. That's really a treat, and you are our second duo. So begs the question, like, how did you start as a duo, and how long have you been playing together, and how does it all work for you?
Well, we started just singing songs in about 2009. We met in 2006, and we got married in 2012. But in about 2009, we were just sort of doing benefits and singing the backing tracks and things like that. And then we realized a little while later that, geez, we could play. We could play music and play instruments. So we then started playing, and we did folk covers and things like that. And then, I don't know, short time after that, we said, we can string 2 sentences together. We can write a song. So we went ahead and started writing songs, and we wrote our first song in 2012.
Wow.
We now have 7 albums out, and we've written about 130 songs, and it's just going on from there.
You're prolific. So it looks like you collected 130 instruments too. I mean, you.
Yeah, and if we knew someone who could play them, it would be really nice.
Oh.
I'm kidding. We do. We do collect older instruments. The banjo is over 100 years old, and the mandolin in the middle is about 60 years old, I guess.
And the flute back there was my great-great-grandfather's.
Oh, do you come from a musical family, Judy?
They played, but most of the time it was just records I learned from, and the choirs in school. I sang since I was in the 7th grade in the choirs all the way up through college.
How about you, Andy?
I started, my family's very musical. I was the last of 5 kids. So we used to drive around upstate New York, and I used to sit in back listening to them singing Bob Dylan tunes and Peter, Paul and Mary. So I grew up with folk music. And got to play a little bit of guitar. I played on my sister's 12-string that only had 8 strings. I didn't know the difference.
What's a few strings missing? Eight's a lot to manage anyway, right?
That's right. It's too many.
So you said you found yourself in a soup kitchen. This is kind of my last question that I have in my mind. So how did you get there, and what compels you to perform?
Well, I mean, it's I made the connection. I knew where we were gonna be, and I knew we had time. So I just, it's sort of like busking without getting paid. really. We just wanted to offer something to make their situation a little bit better, a little bit more pleasant for that one evening. And we had several people come up and ask us if we were going to be there every night. I said, well, sorry, but we don't live around here. But it was just something that, we thought we'd give back a little bit. We were getting paid for the other shows, so it's not like, it was going to be hard on us to do this. And it was just something we thought would just help the folks out a little bit, just to share a little music. And what we do is folk music. So that's what it was.
That's a blessing. Well, thank you for that. And thank you for playing for us. That was really delightful. And back to you, Rich.
Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Daphne. Okay, so we're on the East Coast. Now we're going back to the West Coast. Kind of my old stomping grounds of the South Bay. Robert Edgar from Sunnyvale, California. Robert plays open mics in the San Francisco Bay Area, including Freight and Salvage and the South Bay Acoustic Music Group and Red Rock Cafe in Mountain View. And you can hear some of his albums at robertedgar.bandcamp.com. So, Robert, all yours.
Great. Thanks, everyone, for staying, and really enjoyed the music so far. So I'll play a couple of original songs. This first one is When You Go. How do you want to go when you go, when you go? How do you want to go when you go, when you go? In a rain of fire, in a rain of gold, in a car that you bought, in a kiss you were sold. How do you want to go when you go? Where do you want to go when you go, when you go? Where do you want to go when you go, when you go? To a desert, to a tree, to a cloud in the sky, to a river, to a star, to a tear in an eye. Where do you want to go when you go? Why do you want to go when you go, when you go? Why do you want to go when you go? 'Cause you're old, 'cause you're mad, 'cause you're cold and alone, 'cause you're broke, 'cause you're rich, 'cause you're looking for a home. Why do you want to go when you go? Well, there's door number 1 and there's doors 2 and 3. You gotta reach deep in your pocket, hope you find the right key. When do you want to go when you go, when you go? When do you want to go when you go, when you go? Well, the train comes at 5, plane leaves at 10, the bus never comes. Want to wait till then? When do you want to go when you go? When do you want to go when you go?
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. Hey, Robert, is that standard tuning or is that
just drop the D?
Ah, okay, it's drop D. Okay, yeah, it sounds very, very cool. I like that. The lower
great.
end.
I'm glad because the next one will also have the same tuning. So.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about tuning it back up to D before, or back
That's
up to
right.
E before.
That's right.
Yeah, right.
It's a popular tuning, all the better. It's good.
Yep.
This next one, Orchids on the Orinoco. My good friend of mine, Ethan Place, wrote the lyrics, and I wrote the music. No one knew what they called themselves. No one saw where they'd gone. We only heard the words of a bird. They taught to speak their tongue. Orchids on the Orinoco, drifting with the flood, scattered by time's arrows, murmurs in the blood. Shattered masks spike the dancing ground. Sacred horns starved for breath. And still we heard the words of a bird, as meaningless as death. Orchids on the Orinoco, drifting with the flood, scattered by time's arrows, murmurs in the blood. Cook fire ashes pale as bone, foot-worn paths all overgrown, palm-wrapped mummies tombed in stone, jaguar glare and insect drone. What whispers passed in their hammocks? What did they name the night? All that we heard were words from a bird, with plumes banana bright. Orchids on the Orinoco, drifting with the flood, scattered by time's arrows, murmurs in the blood.
Yeah, that's some intense guitar playing there, buddy. That is really good. What a tune! That's very nice.
Wow.
Okay, let me.
Wow.
Okay, I'm gonna connect you with Daphne now. Let's find out what's going on, Daphne.
Wow, Robert, you have such a unique style, and both songs were very unique but very different from each other, and that's very compelling and interesting to me. Um, so where do you go looking for inspiration for your songs, or does it just find you? I mean, how does that happen for you?
In the world.
Well,
I
that's clear.
always, something occurs to me and I start. And with lyrics, I usually have an event that I go to. And as I write a song, I'll go back to the event and pull concrete words and images out of the event. So I'm very big on concrete images. These may not be the best example of that, but that's usually how I work.
There were a lot of images and in the first song you had a lot of concrete and interesting little things that I didn't see them coming, you know.
Yeah, I like it when there's a twist in there. So if you're going to listen to something, it might as well surprise you. So if it works, there's something like that in there.
Right now, you had a great guitar solo. We don't usually get a lot of guitar solos here. Do you do that often?
Do I do that often? Don't know. I played with some classical South Indian musicians for about 10 years.
Okay, so that's what we're
Playing,
hearing, right?
and I got used to playing single string solos. Now, there are many other guitarists that do that, but that is probably something that sounds different here. Also, I try to stay away from compact triad chords to spread it out and open it up, type of thing. So those two things speak to my playing.
So you're hanging out with those musicians and playing with them clearly is a big influence on you then, isn't it? On your music.
Oh,
And you can hear
sure.
that in the second song mostly, more than the first, but
Yeah, the first one's kind of blues, standard blues, but fun.
where did you find these people to play music with?
Well, I'm in the Bay Area in San Fran, so there's a lot of musicians here, and a lot of incredibly good musicians of all types and all sorts of backgrounds. And I was very lucky to become involved with the South Indian musicians that. They were very helpful for me for just waking up. And I think in turn, I was probably fairly helpful for them. South Indian music doesn't have any harmony structure, harmonic structure. They've got incredibly complex rhythmic structures and scales. Almost every song is a different scale. You've heard of a raga. Every raga is kind of a different scale if you look at it. And so they opened my eyes to all sorts of stuff on there. And maybe I helped with some chordal or harmonic structures in return.
Wow, that's really fascinating. So speaking of helping, so do you have any advice for new writers? And don't necessarily mean young, but people who are just starting out writing music and performing?
The one thing that I would say is to go to the concrete image rather than the concept if you're choosing words. The concrete image is almost always more powerful. So you let the listener derive and create the metaphor from the concrete image you give. Don't give them the metaphor and ask them to wallow in its glory. It's because if you want to resonate with someone, you resonate through a concrete image, not a glist word.
That's very valuable advice. Thank you. And thank you for your songs. They're beautiful and fascinating also. So
Thank
thanks
you
a
very
lot.
much.
Glad to have you on our show. We have one more performer. Rich will introduce them, and I'm going to go make a costume change in their honor.
Okay, we can't wait. That's gonna be yeah. And Robert, one thing that you'd mentioned, that's a great thing about the Bay Area. I used to live in the Bay Area. I mean, it is a melting pot, and you can find all types of musicians there. With all kinds of different music. It's really a great place. Really great place. Okay, so we are gonna wrap our July 3rd session here of Open Mic America with the Hewitt Family Band from Brookhaven, Mississippi. So we're going back east. And Charlie and Libby, I know have been on here before. They play at the Natchez Brewery, the Riverview House of Brews, and Recess 101, whatever that is. I don't know, but it's the Recess 101. They're also going to be at...
I wondered what it is, too.
Oh, okay. Was it a typo or its place?
The closest thing we have to a pub here in our small town.
I see. I see. And they're also going to be at the Overbrook Singer-Songwriter Festival in Brookhaven, Mississippi, first weekend of August, with a lot of other local singer-songwriters.
Look at Daphne. Look what Daphne's got on.
Yay,
Like
Daphne!
your shirt there.
Oh, there you go, Hewitt Family Band. Well, Charlie and Libby, I think, we all deserve one of those shirts. So maybe we could put our addresses, maybe we could put our email addresses.
They sent it to me in the mail to get on bumper stickers too. I couldn't wear the bumper stickers also, so just the shirt. Isn't this awesome?
It is awesome. I'd like to do a shout out.
Pat us on the head. We'll follow you anywhere, and we'll give you everything we've got.
There we go.
Yeah,
I'd like to also do a shout out to all the other performers on tonight's show. Send T-shirts.
This is our third time, and this is by far the best group. Of all these songs were great, and everybody sang and played and smiled. And I'm afraid we're going to drop it down here, but we'll see.
No, you're going to do great. So take it away.
Okay. Everybody, me, I've got a 19-year-old mind stuck in this damn near 80-year-old body.
15-year-old mind.
Okay, 15. And so this is the first time you've been looking at a girl and you want to kind of get with her, and she's and then all of a sudden she turns and looks at you and smiles at you. And then your whole world just opens up as she smiled at me, That's what this song's about. It's called Hey, Hey, Hey. Hey, 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 it's a beautiful day. Hey, 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 she looked my way. She turned her head, gave me a smile. I was walking on clouds for quite a while. And it don't matter if the storm clouds come my way. It don't matter if it rains the rest of the day. Nothing can make me sad or blue today. Oh no, 'cause she's already looked my way. Seems like a silly thing to get excited about. Trying to control myself, trying not to shout. She makes my heart sing, she makes me smile. And I haven't felt this way in quite a while. Her blue eyes make me weak, weak in the knees. Her golden hair lights up everything she sees. I just want to sit and talk with her a while. I want her to know I'm not trying to cramp her style. And it don't matter if the storm clouds come my way. It don't matter if it rains the rest of the day. Nothing can make me sad or blue today. Oh no, 'cause she's already looked my way. I can already see us in a cute little house. White picket fence, roses all about. And in our yard,
there's a couple of kids.
And it all started with that thing she did. She looked my way, hey, hey, hey. And it don't matter if the storm clouds come my way. It don't matter if it rains the rest of the day. Nothing can make me sad or blue today. Oh no, 'cause she's already looked my way. Yes, she's already looked my way. Hey, hey, hey.
Very nice.
Hey, hey.
Nice little tune. Libby, what are you playing in that?
This is an electronic auto harp. It's called a keyboard, put out by Suzuki.
Very cool.
It is cool, but it's in the circle of fifths, as I guess a regular harp, auto harp is. And I'm usually a keyboard player, so that just messes with my mind.
Gonna have to go on Amazon and check that out.
See the best in the world. So I can usually either sing or play, but I have difficulty doing both at the same time.
She's blind in one eye and doesn't see well out of the other one.
Yeah,
Right? It's
that's the problem.
Perfect.
She has to drive.
Sounded great. Sounded great.
We're in Brookhaven, Mississippi, and that's it's geographically about halfway between New Orleans and Memphis. So we've got, and then you got the Delta up there. So we've got all kind of music influence coming through us. I lived a while in New Orleans, and man, black magic and voodoo is just big down there. And so this is a song little thing we did a couple months ago called "Daughter of the Voodoo Queen." That's the name of it. Down in Louisiana, south of New Orleans, there's a pretty little girl, flashing dark eyes, daughter of the voodoo queen. She said she was not like her mama, no potions, no spells to see. I don't care what she says, she put a spell on me. Life had been so easy for me, everything was going my way. But when she looked at me, there was nothing I could say. And now I don't believe in black magic, it'll never get a hold on me. That little girl with those flashing dark eyes put a spell on me. My brain was all cloudy, my mind was as fuzzy as could be. I get so weak in the knees every time she look at me. Well, I stopped trying to fight it, I gave in eventually. Now we're living down on the bayou, we're happy as we can be. And I don't believe in black magic, oh, it'll never get a hold on me. And that little girl with those flashing dark eyes, put a spell on me. So I'm down in Louisiana, just south of New Orleans. There's a pretty little girl with flashing dark eyes, the daughter of the voodoo queen. And there's a pretty little girl with those flashing dark eyes, she stole my heart from me. Thank you very much, and we hope we pass the audition.
Oh, we're not sure. You may have to do a few more songs. Oh, no. All right. That was great. Let me pass you on to Daphne.
Well, welcome back, and thank you for my shirt again.
Oh, that shirt looks good on TV.
Yes.
That red pops. That red really pops.
I know, it sure does. Wow, those songs were just delightful, and I love that auto harp. It has a really special sound that you don't get from some other instrument, and
Well, and it makes a lot of other different sounds, but I just have not learned all the bells and whistles.
no, and it's such, especially in the first song, it had this little tinkly kind of a feel to it. There's like a music box. It was beautiful. And oh, two love songs. You brought two love songs to us, and I think it's funny that you said that Charlie is like acting like he's 15, because really, don't you think that love songs could be for boys and girls of any age? I mean, in your 80s.
Those are lust songs instead of love songs.
There's a thin line between lust and love. I will admit to that.
Oh gosh. Well, but he needs to keep his inner child alive in order to create, right?
There you go.
Yep.
And now, do you write songs too, Libby, or is it Charlie who writes?
I do, but I'm not nearly as prolific. I'm trying to get up nerve enough to maybe next month or whenever we sing with y'all again, maybe do one of mine.
Ah, that would be nice. Now, who arranges them?
Arranges.
What do you think?
Strum the damn guitar and sing and play.
Okay. I
Not
mean,
really any arrangements. I mean,
no.
I
Well,
can't
they
do
were. There was harmony, and you had
Oh,
this
yeah.
little piano auto harp riff that you were doing and all that. I mean, it wasn't just.
I think in harmony because for the last several years at our church, they changed me over to the alto section because they needed someone who could read music. And once I started doing that, I just started thinking in harmony. So now when I hear just a single melodic line, it just sounds so thin,
Oh, I get it. Now, so you're going to be playing at some festivals, I hear?
Yeah. Well, here in Brookhaven, John Paul Dove's going to be there too, hopefully. We have a Overbrook Songwriters Festival.
I think this is the third or fourth year.
We have about 30 songwriters coming in. And somebody mentioned knowing Tommy Joe and Deborah. Maybe
Tommy
Dave.
Ike Haley.
Tommy Ike Haley and Deborah.
Mm-hmm. And they're
I
going to
think
be there too.
Anyway, they're going to be there, and they're just really nice, sweet people too.
Mhm.
We haven't met anybody doing this that hadn't been nice, sweet people.
That's
That's
the
right.
thing. Meet the nicest people through music.
Yeah, so that's true. So I agree with you with that. So let me ask you this. I mean, you're not children anymore, like you were saying, but you're still playing music. What are you aspiring to now as musicians? Do you have the aspirations?
We've put out a couple of albums, and I was born poor, and I'm gonna die poor, but I'm doing what I want to do, and I'm lucky. End of this month, I'll be 80 years old, and I'm so lucky I can keep doing what I want to do at some kind of fairly decent rate. I'm not, but I'm just really lucky that I can still keep doing it. I do it every morning. I'm sitting there every morning for a couple of hours and hope something comes to me, or I see something on TV, like somebody pointed out about news, or just sometimes I just close my eyes and I can think about relationships, and then I don't know.
Well, and my aspirations are
okay.
to write songs for my church choir or somebody's church choir, but I can, but I don't like to sit down and write with the manuscript paper and write all the notes out in the chords.
I can do that.
So I have some ideas that just have never found their way onto the paper.
What I didn't put in that autobiography thing, we have been doing a lot of church songs, like singing in churches, and so rather than singing old church songs, I wrote a song about Jesus, with the missing, not like John Prine's missing years, but really the missing years, kind of what he did, and then about him in the garden.
Yeah, and sometimes the theology is a little shaky, but
well, it's creative license. creative biblical license, I think you call it.
Creative biblical license. Okay, and let's just end the question like I asked a couple other people, and let me ask you too, since you've been doing this for a while. You got advice for newer writers or performers?
Just keep at it. Keep a notebook. Write down all or somewhere that you keep your ideas, your little snippets, lyrics. If you only have a couple of lines, or what I do is I go on my phone when I have a melody and I do it on the voice recorder, because if I don't get it down right then, I forget it.
There you go. Thank you so much for coming back to us. Rich, take us home.
All right. I love those comments. You know, Charlie, I'm not up where you are yet, but I'm not too far behind. And yeah, it's just a joy to be able to continue to play guitar and make music. It really is.
After 6 wives, it's kept me out of the nut house too.
Well, I'm not close to you on that, but I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it.
I don't think, but maybe it seems like it is.
Right. And how many of us here also use the voice recorder on our phone, right? I mean, who does? My phone has more of those on there, I think, than pictures. So, yeah, so it's really cool. Wow, what a great show tonight. That was really great. Let's make sure I'm gonna mute people here as we get ready to go on the final stretch. And so anyway, thank you all for performing tonight. Cowboy Rex, Pammy Martin, Greta Rose, Dan and Faith, M. Joy, Andy and Judy Daigle, Robert Edgar, and the Hewitt Family Band. Remember to check our website, openmicamerica.com, for links to the music of all the OMA performers and to find archives of all the previous shows, including tonight's show. Want to thank Daphne for interviewing, and and I need to get out of full screener, which had started, and also our founder, Capo Dave Williams, who was doing all the technical work and made sure the show ran smoothly. Want to thank all our audience on YouTube. If you like the show, please spread the word. Don't keep it a secret. You can even download and print your own posters from our website, which I did. You can see, and hang them somewhere where folks can see them. Also, you can get a T-shirt. You can't see my T-shirt. Well, kind of hidden by my mic, but T-shirt you can get through the openmicamerica.com site, and check out your local and virtual open mics. I mean, that's what we're here for. We're here to promote them. What a great place to hear new performers as well as old performers and new music. And we've listed the ones where our performers play under the local open mics tab on our website. Our next show is going to be next Sunday, July 10th. Laura Bordowitz is going to be our engineer. Evan Acey is a new MC who's going to be on board. And once again, the amazing Daphne Ramil will be interviewing all of our performers. So stay tuned for that lineup. And so now it's time for everybody to be muted and everybody wave goodbye. And this show is now over. So good night, America.
If you meet me at the corner of Russell and Albina, just about a block from Mississippi Avenue, I'll take you to a house where they hang carpets on the wall. And if we go there on a Sunday, there's a song I'll take you through.